Hey everybody, it's Max. This is a new piece I made, and it was based on a sketch from my sketchbook that I did at an artist residency in Vermont in the summer of 2021, last summer. And the original sketch was this guy kind of just like crudely drawn with a speaker on his back and like a keyboard. I don't think there was a laptop. Um, but I was flipping through that sketchbook recently, and I thought it deserved to be a full blown illustration, and I thought it was pretty fun. So I decided to use it as my illustration for this week. So uh, yeah, I guess if you've ever played the game The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, or any Zelda game, well, any of the newer Zelda games, I think Wind Waker was the first one where this guy Beetle was introduced, but in the Zelda series, there's this character named Beetle, and he's kind of like a wandering merchant. And in Wind Waker, I think he had like a boat that he would ride around in, and you could like go out and climb on his boat and buy stuff from him. And in Breath of the Wild, he is like a wandering merchant with this giant backpack on, and there's like all this stuff hanging off of it, like fish and meats and vegetables and stuff like herbs and stuff like that. So I think when I drew this guy, I was kind of like subconsciously channeling that guy's energy, where it's like just this guy like walking through the wilderness, but he's got this big like speaker on his back, and I thought it'd be funny, if it was just like kind of like Beetle, where it's just there's so much stuff on his back that it's like unrealistic, but that's kind of like what makes it funny. And also, I just like drawing all these electronic music instruments, so I just kind of went all out with that. And really, there's like a mixer on his back and like a some kind of synthesizer and like a suitcase. And then the thing left of his face is called an SP404, which is, I think it's used a lot. Well, I know that it's used a lot in like hip hop and lo-fi music. Like that's the machine that they use to make beats on in lo-fi videos, and like I think in general, like a lot of hip hop uses sampling machines like that. Um, I've drawn a lot of them because I've done a lot of work for lo-fi artists, and I've never actually played one. Even, like I'm a musician, but I've never actually used one of these things. But I've drawn them so many times, and I always like including them because anyone who uses one loves them. There's like this whole culture around them. So anytime I put one in my illustration, some dude will just be like, "Yo, an SP404." Like they just love them so much. So I always like putting those in there. And yeah, he's got the MacBook going, because I don't know if you're making electronic music. Usually you're hooking everything into like a laptop, or like from what I understand. I've never actually made electronic music this way. I have made some electronic music like the music that's playing right now, uh, on my computer, but I just use a keyboard for that. So I don't actually know if like all these like connections and everything and wires are accurate for music production, but I don't think it really matters. And then, I imagine this dude just like wandering through the desert or something, and like you just like hear him and you see him walking across like out in the distance, and as you get closer, the music's just like louder and louder. So that that's kind of my idea for this guy. And you know, I picture him kind of like wandering into Burning Man and just like walking through the crowds of people, and everyone just starts like raging when he walks by. He's kind of like in his own little world or something. And you know, he's definitely kind of like a hippie type guy. So he's got the prayer flags going, and his little pet bird, and the Earth flag, and the peace sign hat, and then there's like little Nalgene water bottle, which is kind of based on like my sister's Nalgene water bottle that she had. I think she lost it because she loses everything. Shout out to Aubrey. But yeah, no. Then he's got the crystals around his neck too. So yeah, he's kind of like a hippie electronic music producer type guy, I guess. And I don't know, I really like that kind of crowd. Like I've spent a lot of time with these kind of outdoorsy type, crunchy, hippie type people, and I think that's an aspect of my personality and like who I am a little bit. So I think this guy was also just like me expressing that part of myself to the world, that people don't normally expect from me or see. And I think that's one of the cool things about art is like you can express parts of yourself without actually having to do it in real life. Like I think in an alternate reality I would have looked like this guy probably. So yeah, the piece itself was pretty fun to draw. I've been drawing on paper like I told you in the last video, and it's challenging in the sense that like you can't like move stuff around so easily, so it definitely makes you think and be really careful before you draw something. But I feel like the fact that I was able to draw this has been like a testament to my improvement as an artist, because I think even like a few years ago or less, it would have been so hard to draw this. But I think I've gotten better at drawing people and 3D objects in space, so I'm excited about that. But the painting aspect of this piece was kind of hard because there's so many details, and painting around all of them was like pretty tricky. I had to use really small brushes, but I think I pulled it off like decently well. I know like the area behind his shoulder, like the part of the speaker that's in shadow, you can't see it right now, but at the end, it was kind of hard to make that like an even wash, but it's kind of like choppy a little bit, but I think it still works. So and it worked out. But another thing I'll say is the YouTube video, like I've been uploading these vertically formatted videos on YouTube, and it's not ideal because you have these two black boxes on either side. But my reasoning for doing that was because I wanted to make this into an Instagram reel and use the same footage for both the reel and the YouTube video. But I'm learning that that's really hard because first of all, you have these giant like video files that you're trying to like edit on Instagram to make the reel, and then when you bring these video files onto your computer, they take up so much room and they take forever to like upload from your phone. So I think what I want to do is like use my phone just to record the reels, and then get like a little digital camera to record the YouTube videos or something like that. I haven't figured it out. I'm kind of just like going with the flow. When I like try to plan stuff out too much, I end up just getting like paralyzed with indecision and being really overwhelmed. So I find like it's much easier for me to just start doing it and work with what I have and then improve slowly over time rather than trying to make it perfect at the beginning. Otherwise I'll just never do it. So yeah, I mean, these videos are kind of better to listen to anyway, I think. Like, you're probably just drawing or doing something else where you're watching this, so you're not really looking at it the whole time, I'm assuming. Maybe you are. But I will try to make these videos like a landscape format for future videos. Hopefully for the next one. The music I've got going is music I made when I first started my YouTube video channel, and I'm kind of just reusing these old pieces for now, but at some point I'd like to make some new music and maybe even use my guitar, do some little improv jams, which I think would be fun. Alright, so this is pretty much it. Thanks everyone for stopping by and watching my video. It's super fun to just talk about my process a little bit and share the time lapse with you all. if you want to support me, you can follow me on Instagram, which is very helpful. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel here, which is very helpful. And if you want this print, you can buy it on my Etsy. It's available on there. And yeah, just thanks again, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.